So we're in the first weeks, in the first days, taking the very first steps of the journey that will be Verb Church in its existence. And I have to tell you, maybe there are some fears that I'm supposed to have. Will we be able to make ends meet financially? And it's been tough. It'll be tough, but I don't worry about that. I have a whole lot of faith that God will provide. Maybe I'm supposed to be worried that there's not a ton of people here. We had 30 or so folks our first Sunday, and in Houston, especially, churches are typically bigger than that. But I don't worry about that. That's not something that I spend time worrying about. I think if our relationships are full and we're connecting them to one another, if the experience is full, then our seats will be soon enough. My fear is really different. It's that we'll become something that I think lots of churches have become, that I just want to avoid for forever. And that's sterile or antiseptic or institutional, in a way that there's nothing real and nothing raw about what we're doing in church. For me, gathering together and worshiping God is all about things at their most raw: emotions, talent, words, life. The second that you get to a place where you're worried about numbers of any stripe, you've missed the point about exactly what Jesus was trying to do, that he's called our church to do, that I think he calls all churches to do, and some just started to focus on other things. I'm not trying to church bash, I'm just telling you what I worry about. And it's that there comes a day when other things become more important than our relationships. That there comes a day when the conversation that we have between one another isn't any longer the thing that we spend the most time on. That we get focused on what worship looks like, or what the building looks like, or what giving looks like, and what the bottom line is. None of those things are important to the kingdom, I promise you. And I just worry about someday wearing a suit and getting a hair transplant and polishing my teeth and shaving my beard and being the person that's not so just raw and emotional about what I'm called to and what Jesus calls us all to. So I invite you to pray for me and pray for Verb Church. Maybe it's a strange thing this early to worry about where we'll go when we are big. But the thing that worries me about that is just that we won't be as intimate. Jesus one time broke bread and fed 5,000 people. Let's be honest, they were just recording the men. So there's probably a lot more. But if you pay attention to that encounter, it's intimate and it's raw. And I think that's what church is supposed to be. No matter how many people are in the seats, no matter how far you reach, no matter how big your office is. So please be praying for us, because we're trying to do a thing that has no size attached to it, but lots of depth.